It's unfortunate that we have someone on the stage who is attempting to be the Democratic nominee for President of the United States, who during the Obama administration spent 4 years full-time on Fox News criticizing President Obama.
That's
who
ridiculous,
has spent full-time,
That's
who has
ridiculous.
spent full-time criticizing people on this stage as affiliated with the Democratic Party. When Donald Trump was elected, not even sworn in, buddied up to Steve Bannon to get a meeting with Donald Trump in the Trump Tower, fails to call a war criminal by what he is as a war criminal, and then spends full time during the course of this campaign, again, criticizing the Democratic Party. What we need on the stage in November is someone who has the ability to win. And by that, we need someone on that stage who has the ability to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and someone who has the ability to rebuild the Obama coalition.
Well, hello there, friends. Welcome to the channel. I am so mighty glad you decided to pull up a chair and join me today. If you love our beautiful country and enjoy hearing wholesome, true stories that lift up your spirit and put a great big smile on your face, please take a quick second to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and share this video with your wonderful neighbors and family. We bring you these heartfelt stories every single day, and having you here with us makes our big American family feel just a little bit closer. Now, let's get right into today's beautiful story. Well, folks, let me sit down here with you for a spell and tell you about something that just lit up the whole country like a 4th of July fireworks show a few days ago. I'm an old fella who's seen a lot in my time. Raised on a little farm in the heartland, worked my hands raw building things the American way, and watched presidents come and go. But nothing warms this old patriot's heart more than seeing truth spoken plain and bold, the kind that cuts through all the fancy Washington nonsense and hits straight at the heart of what makes our great nation strong. And that's exactly what happened when Senator John Kennedy, that sharp-tongued Louisiana fighter for everyday folks, stepped up on live TV and laid it all out about Kamala Harris. He called her a Woketopus, tentacles reaching everywhere, grabbing onto every wild idea from the far-left crowd, and folks across America couldn't stop laughing and cheering because it was so spot-on true. Now, picture this. It was just a couple days back, right around the middle of May 2026, Kamala had been out there talking big about how the Democrats should throw out every crazy notion they've got. No bad ideas, she said. Like packing the Supreme Court or making Washington, D.C. a state just to grab more power. She was trying to rally her side after their big losses, acting like she still had all the answers. But Senator Kennedy wasn't having any of it. On Fox News, with that folksy drawl of his that reminds me of the old storytellers back home, he looked right into the camera and said, plain as day, she's a Woketopus, pandering to the loon wing of her party. Nobody has ever accused the vice president of being a policy maven. Sometimes she acts like she has a billygoat brain and a mockingbird mouth. That's a dangerous combination. He even called her a smoked turkey, meaning she'd already had her big shot and missed it bad. And get this, he joked he'd happily donate to her campaign if she runs again in 2028, because she'd be the easiest opponent our side could dream of. The whole nation lit up like a bonfire. Clips flew around the internet faster than a summer storm. Truck drivers pulling over at rest stops to watch it on their phones. Moms in grocery stores sharing it with their neighbors, and veterans at the local diner slapping the counter and hollering. Finally, somebody said it. I saw it myself, right here at home. And I tell you, it felt like the old American spirit rising up again. Honest talk from a man who served in the Senate and knows the game inside out. He even mentioned how he served with her back when she was there. So he wasn't just guessing. He knew her record, cold. And right there in the middle of it all stands President Donald Trump, our fighter-in-chief, the man who never backs down from the truth and always puts America first. He's been exposing Kamala's weaknesses for years, showing the American people how her time in office brought nothing but open borders, sky-high prices at the pump and the grocery store, and weak leadership that left our enemies laughing at us. Trump built the strongest economy we've ever seen. Jobs pouring in for factory workers, farmers getting fair deals, and energy independence like we hadn't had in decades. He kept us out of new wars, stood up to China, and made sure our military was the most powerful on earth. When Kamala and her crowd tried to tear it all down with their woke ideas and big government schemes, Trump stood tall and said, "Not on my watch." That's why he won big in 2024, folks, because real Americans remembered what strong leadership feels like. This moment with Senator Kennedy wasn't just a funny roast. It was a massive win for every hardworking family out there. Think about the single mom in Ohio trying to stretch her paycheck while gas prices were through the roof under the old administration. Or the small business owner in Texas who had to lay off good people because of all those regulations and mandates. Or the young family in Pennsylvania worried about their kids' future in schools that pushed politics instead of reading, writing, and real history. When Kennedy spoke those words, it reminded us all that the days of empty word salads and failed policies are behind us. President Trump is back in the White House, making good on his promises, securing the border so American workers aren't competing with illegal crossings, bringing factories home so our kids have good-paying jobs, and cutting taxes so families keep more of what they earn. This exposure showed the country that America first isn't just talk. I remember back when Trump first came down that escalator in 2015. A lot of folks in the fancy media laughed at him, just like they're squirming now. But he spoke for people like me, the forgotten men and women who love this country, fly the flag high, and believe in God, family, and hard work. He exposed how the other side had turned their backs on us, chasing global deals that hurt American steelworkers and farmers. And now, years later, with Senator Kennedy delivering this perfect takedown, it feels like the circle is complete. Trump's vision is winning because it puts America and her people first. Always. No more apologizing to foreign leaders. No more letting radical ideas run our schools and streets. Just straight American strength, like the kind that built the railroads, won the wars, and put a man on the moon. Let me tell you about a friend of mine down the road, call him Joe, a retired auto worker from Michigan. He lost his pension security under the old policies, watched his town empty out when jobs went overseas. But under Trump's first term, those plants started humming again. Joe called me the other day after seeing the Kennedy clip, voice cracking with emotion. "That's what we've been saying all along," he told me. "She never had real answers. Just fancy words that don't put food on the table." Stories like Joe's are everywhere. Veterans who finally got the care they deserve because Trump fixed the VA. Farmers in Iowa who could sell their crops without unfair trade deals choking them. Young people starting businesses without the government breathing down their necks. This latest moment just pours gasoline on that fire of hope. It shows the collapse of the old guard's ideas, and it's why President Trump's leadership feels more important than ever. You see, America First isn't about division. It's about unity around what makes us great. Freedom, opportunity, and strength. Trump proved it by negotiating the best trade deals we've seen in a generation, standing with our allies while making them pay their fair share, and protecting our constitutional rights from those who wanted to silence conservative voices. Senator Kennedy's words echoed that same bold spirit. He wasn't mean-spirited. He was truthful in that Southern way that cuts to the bone but makes you chuckle because it's so accurate. The billygoat brain and mockingbird mouth line, pure gold. It captured how some folks in Washington repeat whatever the loudest voices on the left say without thinking through the real world harm, like inflation eating up savings or crime spiking in cities that defunded their police. And the impact, it's hitting home right now, in kitchens and living rooms across this beautiful land. People are energized. As I watch all this unfold, this old heart swells with pride. I've lived through tough times, recessions, wars, leaders who forgot the little guy. But President Donald Trump changed that. He exposed the failures, fixed what was broken, and gave us back our swagger as Americans. This Woketopus moment just adds to the legacy. It's proof that the American people see through the smoke and mirrors. We want leaders who deliver results, not slogans. And with Trump at the helm, steering us toward prosperity, security, and greatness, I know in my bones that brighter days are here, and they're only getting better. So, God bless Senator Kennedy for speaking the truth with a smile. God bless President Trump for leading the charge every single day. And God bless this United States of America, the greatest country the world has ever known. We're winning, folks, because we put America first. Always have, always will. Now, pass the sweet tea and let's keep fighting a good fight together. Well, my wonderful friends, we have reached the end of our story today, but the journey of our great country keeps moving forward every single day. If this tale brought a smile to your face, warmed your patriotic heart, or gave you a little extra hope for our future, please join our growing community. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and drop a comment down below to share your own thoughts on how truth and common sense are winning across America. Reading your beautiful messages truly makes this channel feel like a warm neighborhood gathering. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow for another heartwarming story. God bless you, and God bless America.